The Day My Family Grew by 4 Paws by Miss Tate. It was early September when I picked my mom up to go shopping. I told her that I wanted to stop at a pet store and see if they were having pet adoptions. I was thinking about getting a cat. She asked why I wanted a cat and not a dog, and I explained to her that I had been thinking about getting a pet. I think a cat will be easier for me to take care of than a dog. When we got to the store, I was excited to see the sign that advertised pet adoptions today. I convinced my mom that we had to go in and see if I could find a cat to bring home with me. There was a shelter that was set up right inside the door. I glanced through all of the crates to see if any kittens caught my eye. In the crate on the very bottom were 3 little kittens, a beautiful gray kitten with blue eyes, a furry black and white kitten with green eyes, and a silky black kitten with yellow eyes. I squatted down to get a closer look. The black kitten was napping in the corner, and the other 2 kittens were wrestling in the center of the crate. I stuck my finger into the crate, and the black and white kitten immediately came over and grabbed my finger with both of his furry front paws, and then gave my finger a dry, rough kiss with his little kitten tongue. I wanted to get a closer look at the kittens in the bottom crate, so the lady from the shelter opened the crate for me. First, I held the black and white kitten. He was a little ball of fur with a lot of energy. He let me hold him for a minute, and then he tried to climb out of my hands. So I put him back in the crate and picked up the gray one. He was such a beautiful kitten, but he had a lot more energy than the other one. He managed to climb out of my hands, up the front of my shirt, over my shoulder, and then he tried to jump off. Luckily, my mom was right there and grabbed him before he jumped. I had a big decision to make. Do I really want to adopt a new pet? Is a kitten what I really want? How long am I going to have to take care of it? Am I going to be able to take care of it for that long? After discussing it with my mom, I decided that I was going to adopt one of the kittens. But which one? Both of them were so cute, and both of them seemed to have a lot of energy. In the end, I decided to go with the black and white kitten. He came to me when I first stuck my finger into the crate, and he seemed to have a little less energy than the gray kitten. I was now the owner of a new little kitten. I was a little scared of my new responsibility. We had a dog when I was growing up, so I knew very little about caring for a cat. Can't be all that different, right? Since I wasn't sure if I was going to adopt that day, I didn't have any of the supplies I needed for the new addition to my family. My mom and I decided to go across the street to Walmart to get some cat supplies. There was just a little problem. What were we going to do with the little ball of fur that was currently in a cardboard pet box? We couldn't just leave him in the hot truck while we went inside. We decided we had to take him in with us. But pets weren't allowed in the store, so I couldn't just carry him in. What could we put him in? I looked around the truck to see what we could use to hide him in, and I spotted my big pink and white striped purse. Perfect! I emptied out my purse, carefully placed the kitten inside, and zipped it up. This had to work. Everything was going as planned. My mom and I went to the pet section and picked out the supplies we needed along with some treats and a toy. Uh-oh! The kitten started trying to get out of the purse. He did not want to be in there anymore. He started meowing and sticking his paws out, trying to unzip the zipper. People started to look around for a loose kitten. We had to move fast. Unfortunately, the line to check out was long and moving very slow. When I got to the truck and unzipped the purse, he immediately climbed out and wanted to walk all over. But I was afraid he would get away, so I stuck him back in the pet box. Now was the time to surprise my dad, brother, and sister with my new purchase. As we walked into the house, I announced that I had adopted a kitten. They didn't believe me at first, so I pulled the black and white ball of fur out of the box. My dad said he smelled, so he helped me give the kitten a bath. We ended up having to give him 2 baths because he was so smelly. After his bath, my mom and I held him until he went and hid under the couch. My brother asked me what I was going to name him, and I had no idea. We threw around some possible names, and nothing seemed right to me. So I Googled popular cat names and went through the list. I liked the name Sammy, but I wasn't sure if that really fit him. On the top 100 cat names list, I found the name Tater. This was perfect. My last name is Tate, and my friends often call me Tater. It was even my camp name when I was a counselor. The new addition to my family now had a name. A little while later, Tater and I left my parents' house so I could show him his new home.